Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. I was kind of hoping to put some of these videos like this behind us, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, there seems to be a contingent of folks out there that just sort of wants to just get bogged down in a quagmire and seemingly never come out. The reason I thought of making this video was I was reading a recent article in the Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com. Article is titled, Government Warns Bangkok Governor to Curb Activities to Prevent COVID Spread. Quoting directly, the Public Health Ministry will on Monday tell Bangkok Governor Chadchart Sitipun to limit public activities to minimize a possible coronavirus resurgence. Kiatipum Wonggrajit, Permanent Secretary for Public Health Affairs, said on Sunday he will call for Bangkok Metropolitan Administration to reduce the number of events drawing large crowds. Quoting further, the latest government maneuver is likely to be viewed as politicking given its waning popularity, its perceived inability to address the COVID-19 pandemic, and the landslide election of the former Pheu Thai heavyweight to lead the nation's capital. Well, yeah, okay, I see where the media is getting at this, but, I don't view this as politicking, given its waning popularity or perceived inability to address COVID. COVID's been addressed. This is done, in my opinion. This is 2 years going on with this stuff. I mean, at what point do we say, hey, yeah, there's a disease out there. People need to be aware of it, but we got to get on with our lives. We have to forever live in a kind of petrification of like our daily lives, our daily, quite honestly, our, just basic Thai liberties associated with living in Thailand, and on top of that, getting on with our economic activities. I don't think there's any real political sort of ulterior motive behind this. My thing is there just seems to be people that just want to perpetually be in fear of something that, quite honestly, at a certain point, it seems like you have to just kind of say, there's certain things we just can't control. And another point on this, nobody has ever brought up, where is the data that anything regarding the lockdowns or any of those measures have worked? If anything, I have seen publications out there that say quite the contrary, including peer-reviewed publications, which we've discussed, and one was, I believe, from Johns Hopkins University that we've discussed on this channel before. Where is the data that any of this stuff had this meaningful positive impact? That just seems to be presumed when you read about some of this stuff, out there, and sort of, I hesitate, I don't like the term mainstream media and all of that, but just, there seems to have been a concerted effort, or maybe it's not a concerted effort, but again, what is it they say in the press business? If it bleeds, it leads. There's always kind of a sensationalism aspect to the news business that especially seems to have been heightened as technology has improved, and we've seen all this social media where everybody's running around trying to get clicks. One has to wonder if that impetus behind the media to try and stay relevant, for lack of a better term, didn't drive us into a level of hysteria that really was unwarranted based upon the actual circumstances when you look back at them in the cold reality of hindsight, in the cold light of hindsight. You see things for how they really have been. And quite honestly, can we honestly say that that all of this was a good idea? I really wonder if we can. Now, nobody, in my opinion, it's behind us now. Let's leave it there. This notion, trying to politically blame the government, this, that, I don't want to get into all that. I don't think there's any point to it. My point with this video is there seems to be a contingent out there that wants to perpetually just be fearful and sort of have this kind of ethereal nanny out there to just tell everybody what they can and can't do. That's not doing anybody any good. It's proven to not have done anybody any good. And quite honestly, when a huge chunk of GDP gets knocked out, not only from the lockdowns, but just from tourism in general, this should not be, in my opinion, the priority. Yes, it's something to worry about. Yes, it's something to be concerned about. But what we're seeing right now in the greater, wider world and this will come home to roost to some extent in Thailand, although I think Thailand is better situated than a lot of other countries, is the economics are going to be the real problem moving forward. We need to get our economy back on its feet, because I can tell you, I think statistically, problems with things like food supply are going to be a much bigger deal than this sort of ethereal issue of continuing to just be constantly paranoid about something that, quite frankly, we've already put behind us.